This is extremely hard.
Juggling is one of soccer's most iconic skills. It's something players of all ages and abilities try, and no other sport really has an iconic symbol quite like juggling. There are many ways to juggle, whether it be simple juggling to improve your first touch or difficult freestyle skills to impress those around you. Today, we are going to be going through 10 different juggling difficulties to put your first touch to the test. The first level is where beginners will start out. As you can see, I am successfully keeping the ball in the air, but I'm having to move around a lot and don't look very comfortable juggling. The ball is controlling me more than I am controlling the ball. You can also tell that I am favoring one foot, as my weak foot doesn't have the control yet to juggle with the same success as my stronger foot. Level 2 separates an intermediate player from a beginner. Now you will be able to use both feet and control the ball, keeping backspin on it while hitting it consistently into the air at about hip height. At this point, juggling becomes relatively easy and you will be able to start getting 100 or more juggles fairly often. Getting to this point is where you will notice the first considerable improvements in your first touch. Level 3 is where things get a little more challenging. Once you can consistently achieve level 2 juggling, begin to try and hit the ball to head height. This will improve your first touch fast and make juggling quite a bit more challenging. The biggest difference in technique from level 2 is now you are trying to have as little spin on the ball as possible and are bringing the leg higher up to make contact with the ball. Once juggling while standing still becomes easier, now you can start to add controlled movement that adds difficulty. Try to walk in a straight line forward while hitting the ball up. You are going to use the same technique as level 2, aiming for backspin and lower ball height. Moving forward at a consistent speed requires consistent and accurate juggles to keep the ball where it needs to be. At level 5, we have reached an advanced level of control and now we can add speed into the mix. Try running while keeping the ball in the air. To make this even harder, try hitting the ball up with every single step to make sure you have developed consistency in your touch. Once you reach an ability to master this level, you will notice another improvement in your first touch and juggling compared to an intermediate level. At level 6, we introduce another different technique. This time, instead of hitting the ball up in the air with our laces, we use the inside of our foot instead. This adds a challenge for a more advanced player, and learning this new technique can be harder. Learning to control and hit a ball in the air with the instep is incredibly important for a soccer player pushing to a higher competitive level. Level 7 is the only level not using our foot, but is still extremely difficult. Using your head, try to hit the ball up as many times as possible. Getting more than a few juggles here takes advanced skill, and I really started to struggle myself to consistently get any higher reps here. Headers are often overlooked and rarely practiced, so this level is a different type of challenge to the rest. Levels 8 through 10 are the mastery juggling levels. To be able to perform these levels, a player must have developed a very capable first touch and must be consistent in the levels before this. Now, instead of just kicking the ball up with your laces, this level requires that you catch the ball and stall it for each rep. Using both feet is what makes this level so hard and will test your control and balance. In a game, you will rarely ever actually stall the ball like this, but practicing this technique will help you be able to bring a ball down to the ground and under control quickly. Level 9 is an upgraded version of level 3, where instead of trying to kick the ball to head height, we now kick it much higher, making the controlling touch much harder. Try to limit yourself to only 1 or 2 shorter juggles for every high juggle to really master your touch here. The better you get at it, the less you will have to move and the higher you will be able to kick the ball. The final level is now using a tennis ball to juggle instead of a soccer ball. To juggle accurately, you have to hit a certain point on the bottom of the ball to direct it back up in the air consistently. With a tennis ball, the point that you have to hit is much smaller, so you need much more precision. Practicing first touch with the tennis ball will test you and rapidly improve your first touch. Juggling is one of the most fundamental and important skills a great soccer player should have. But juggling is not as one-dimensional as it seems, and it can be extremely beneficial for your first touch once you level up the difficulty. So what level can you get to?